growth has been helped immensely by our partnership as vendors of Shufti. Will definitely help you like it did with us. It's gonna make all the difference in the world. I would summarize my experience with Shufti and my advice to other CEOs or founders that are considering maybe reaching out to Shufti to work with Shufti is that um, just look at the landscape out there and uh, just have one conversation on one simple demo with Shufti. And believe me, we work a lot in this sector. We see a lot of other vendors. We see a lot of other products out there. And I think when you see it live in a demo, when you see how it works, it's going to make all the difference in the world. And it will definitely help you, like it did with us, scale in your existing industries and even broaden out to other horizontal and vertical industries and regions. Axioma is a financial services company. We were founded in July of 2022. And basically, we serve four pillars of services. One of them is risk management. Second one is compliance. The third one is auditing or assurance. And the fourth one is we also provide fintech and RegTech solutions such as Shufti. And we help with integration at our clients. And right now, where we're standing after 3 years of existing, went from one client to having a little bit over 120 clients in 4 different countries. So right now we're in Aruba, Curacao, St. Martin, and Suriname. Yes, and definitely our growth has been helped immensely by our partnership as vendors of Shufti. And we have been able to really position ourselves as being forward and leaders in the market when it comes to ID verification and biometrics and the use of AI and compliance. And that has fueled our growth immensely. We serve mostly financial institutions, meaning that they're under the supervision of either the local FIU, financial, so the reporting institution for transaction reporting, or the central bank of that country. So it's a must to have ID verification and customer due diligence and KYC work done. And we see more and more that of course, with the technology moving, the advancements of deep fakes and everything else that can be faked, it's getting harder and harder to comply for some businesses. And we are very lucky in the sense that we are able to work with Shufti in providing the highest degree of technology and ability to what the software can do. So it's integral to our industries that we serve. And not only financial institutions, but we're also broadly introducing it to, for example, talk with governments, institutions for ID verification, for citizens when they go to apply for a certain permit, for example. We're even talking about on a national level with Curacao to build a national database, compliance database. So that would all not be possible without Shufti. I got in contact with Shufti because prior to Shufti, we were dealing with another provider where we were limited when it came to its options that we could propose to our clients. For example, it didn't have the use of AI built in or biometrics or ID verification and fast ID. So it was very manual work still that needed to be done and filled in by our clients to perform a KYC or CDT. And we saw that the market was moving. We saw the technology was out there. So we started doing our research into, okay, let's say the top 5 of the fastest emerging solution providers. and which ones are growing the fastest. And that's where Shufti came on the shortlist. And it was basically as easy as sending an email through the official channels on your website. And then we got contacted, I think, in less than 24 hours. And since then, it has been an amazing partnership. So the process basically was we were dealing with limitations from other services, other service providers that would not just keep up with technology. And we did not feel safe in continuing to sell those to our customers. Yes, definitely there were certain factors that impacted our decision to go with Shufti. Coverage, worldwide coverage, or the broad coverage that Shufti has was a very important one for us. Other competitors on the market, other firms that provide such services like we do, provide other solutions, but for example, they're not able to read or verify local IDs from here or passports from the region. So priority number one was definitely the global coverage, and also, of course, the language. We speak many languages here in Aruba. We speak our own native language of Papiamento, which is a mixture of Spanish, Portuguese, and we have a big community of Latin people from Latin America. So definitely the possibilities built into Shufti to change settings and logins, and for the end user using the different the long list of languages that are can be used was a big sell for us. So the global coverage, the language use, and also how proactive and how collaborative the Shufti team has been, especially the tech team. And I have to give them a big prop for that, and how quickly we get responses back. If it's through the Teams chat that we use, or Slack, if we have any onboarding issues or anything with clients, it's usually within 24 hours that we get an answer and a solution. So those were the biggest three factors that we took into consideration. So global coverage, language, and support. And also, after that, I do have to mention a very important one that, of course, a regulator looks at, and they're looking at it more and more, are the certifications and compliance elements. So the fact that you are GDPR compliant, the fact that you're ISO compliant also makes a big difference when we're selling Shufti as a product to our financial institution clients. There were a couple of instances during, I think by now it's been almost 2 years, if it's not 2 years that we're working with Shufti, that certain clients have come with customization requests. For example, they want to build specific elements into the journeys that initially are not there, that the tech team has been very flexible in that, and Shufti as a whole has been very flexible in that, and understanding that we are in a even though we're a very small market, if you look at it broadly worldwide, but they have been very flexible in, for example, building in options and additional attributes that we can build into to customize it more and more to the client's experience. So there were definitely, I think, 2 or 3 instances, not many, but they were really picked up quickly by the Shufti team and resolved and pointed us in the right direction. It is very plug and play when it comes to integration, which helps a lot. One of the main questions we get from clients when we were pitching Shufti is, it's great, it looks great, but how are we going to do with the integration with our core systems? And that is where I think you guys also have a big plus over the competition and other platforms on the market, is that yours is very plug and play, and it works with almost any form of, whether it's an API or a webhook or any type of connection. Shufti has definitely helped us in our growth within the regions, within the industries where we were already, by providing this extra additional products to help them with their onboarding and the CDD compliance and compliance requirements. But it has also helped us enter new industries and new countries. For example, St. Martin, Suriname, which are countries that are still a little bit more further behind when it comes to automation, ID verification compared to an Aruba or a Curacao, because they don't fall under GDPR compliance requirements. So it has definitely opened the door as for us there as to do business. So we are very grateful for that. So in both ways, it has helped us basically bring a new product to our existing clients. So in that case, scaling, but also in region wise, because most of the time when we perform a sales pitch for Shufti, I have to say 90 to 95% of the time by the end of the presentation, whether it's a 1 hour and a half, 2 hour presentation of all the options, the CFO or the CEO that's sitting in the presentation, and 95% of the cases just turns to me and says, okay, great, send a proposal, we're in. Well, our future goals at our company at Axiom is that right now, if we look at it where we're standing right now, we're standing at a point of immense growth ahead of us again. When it comes to signed contracts with big parties, with big new financial institutions that are being formed, new banks, for example, and new lending companies over in the Caribbean. And we're in the discussions to basically that they would like to use Shufti as their main onboarding and compliance solution. So I see that the future, and I sometimes joke with our clients, they joke back at me, they say, you started as you're an accountant, you're an auditor, but with time and with the solutions and everything, you're moving more and more into fintech and RegTech, because of the opportunities and the availability that we have with Shufti to provide it. It is very exciting to see, especially when you sit with ministers, with prime ministers, with presidents of the central bank, and you're talking about projects that are going to last at least 10, 15 years moving forward, where they're going to need our services, and not just Axioma services, but then also Shufti services as the basis of it, and our knowledge along with it. So I think what makes us a great partner moving forward is our compliance, local compliance knowledge and applicability in compliance and risk management, and of course the solution that is Shufti. So for the next 10 to 15 years, there's nothing but excitement on our way forward.